Hey, JC here again. Well, it's about 16 more days until the diagnosis. I've skipped a few days because we had a lot of rain and I wasn't able to get out. It's rainy season here in Thailand, so I wasn't able to get out and go do the video like I'd like to. So a couple of things I'd like to talk about today is it's interesting as I get closer to this day of diagnosis, how I'm focusing a lot on everything that's happening. Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? These symptoms going away or whatever? And I don't think that's really a good thing to do. You know, I sort of have a philosophy that the body can reboot itself if you don't interfere. I think just by focusing on some of the stuff, it doesn't help. In fact, it might even make it worse. I did some physical therapy in the past. I was a massage therapist in the States, and I taught people Thai massage. And I've learned ways to fix people's backs and things that, you know, who thought that they would require surgery, or some had already been scheduled for surgery. And I was able to fix them. But the interesting thing about it was, what I noticed was that, you know, when I went to work on them, you know, they were in really bad shape. And after I was finished, all of a sudden they'd get up and the pain was gone. And the interesting thing about that was, the distinction I made was that they would start looking for the pain. They'd be turning, and I'd say, well, what's up? And they go, well, I don't feel any pain. I said, well, why are you looking for it? And so I think we sort of get what we look for in life. And so I'm trying not to pay attention to the symptoms. I'm doing what I consider the elements of good health and sort of leaving it at that. But that's not easy to do. It sort of takes something that, you know, I talked about to have an effortless life, you know, to have things come into your life to manifest what you want. There's certain things that you got to do. And one is to know what it is that you want. And the other one is to align yourself with nature, which is go out and create massive amount of value and not want anything in return, really. And then my belief is that the universe will bring into your life what it is that you want. Now, sometimes it doesn't appear that that's what's working. And so this is the difficult times for people. You know, they want evidence to show that the process is working. And a lot of times there is no evidence. And so when those times come up, it's like you really got to rely on one thing. And it's one thing that they've talked about from the beginning of time. And that's faith. And faith is something that it's an unquestioning belief that doesn't require proof or evidence. You know, if it's a starry night but we have clouds, we don't doubt that there's stars up there. We have faith. When we drive down the road, you know, we're separated by a yellow line, but we don't sit and panic the whole time that somebody's going to cross the line, because we have faith that people are going to abide by the rules. So faith is something we use every day. So I'm trying to have faith in this system, in what I believe. And I really believe that what's going to come into my life is going to serve me in some way, or serve others. And I'm just a vehicle for that. So that's sort of my video for today. Have faith. But I'm doing what I consider to be healthy lifestyle thing. I'm eating good foods, and I'm exercising and things. And I mean, I never had a bad lifestyle. You know, I haven't eaten beef or pork in, I don't know, 30 years or something. So, you know, I probably could have exercised more, not had such a sedentary lifestyle, meditated more. It's interesting about meditation. I think that's when if you can go into a state of meditation where you're in your right brain and you're not using your logical brain, I really think that it gives your body and your mind the ability to reboot itself. It's like a computer. All of a sudden it gets bogged down, you got too many tasks going on, and the memory's all filled up. And if you shut down the computer and reboot it, everything's fresh again. And that's sort of the way meditation is. If you've never tried it before, you really ought to. And I used to meditate a lot, and it's in the last few years I sort of got away from it. So I'm doing a lot of meditation. And it's interesting because of this process that I'm talking to you about going out and create value and looking for the things that you want to come into your life, and waiting for them. And just as a result of having faith that the process is working. As soon as you rely on that faith, the mental processes sort of slow down, and you stop focusing on the problems. and you sort of get into a meditative state, because the only purpose you have in life then is to look where can you create value. And so my belief is that the things that come into my life where I can create that value, the circumstances, are where the opportunities lie. That, I talked about the contractor. You can build your house, it's called your life, and you can use hand tools, you can use power tools, or you can have the contractor. And the analogy of that is that, we have the perfect personal assistant in our life, if we have faith in it. And this personal assistant you can call whatever you want, but I really think it's governing our lives at all times. A lot of times we're just not clear on what it is that we want it to bring into our lives. And so I think if we're creating value for the whole, that personal assistant will take care of the details to get the things we want. And where we get those things we want, or how we make those connections, are things that come into our life as a result of creating the value. And there'll be connections, but most of the time people are so busy inside thinking that they miss, their boat comes in but they weren't at the dock, so to speak. And so when you stop thinking so much about life and you believe in this process, your mind gets freed up to where you can pay more attention to your intuition. And if you follow your intuition, that leads you to the places and the things that you've asked for. So there you go. That's my little video for today. Like I said, it's 16 more days until 16 more days until the diagnosis. So I'll continue to report back to you about the things that are happening, and I'll continue to do these things I'm talking about, and get back to the things that I used to do, but I sort of forgot about. I mean, this is something I put on an audio program. And I've sort of gotten away from these things, which I feel are really important to having a fulfilled life, a fully filled life. So I hope that's been helpful today. If you're going through a similar situation, where you're not sure what's going to be happening with your health, don't think about it. Get into that place where you're just in the flow. Because if you get into that flow and you quit thinking, it's a meditation. You can be in a meditation all the time. You don't have to sit, cross your legs, and go, they talk about people that, got gold medals in the Olympics or did something just phenomenal. And they went and asked them, like, what were you thinking? And they said, I wasn't. Something to think about or something not to think about, That's having faith in the process. You already know what to do. It's just go do it and not think about it. There's a thing about thinking about life and about living life. If you think about something, then you're not living it. John Lennon said, life's what happens to you while you're busy making other plans, and I truly believe that. So I'm not making any plans. I'm just trying to live in the moment. So there you go. Hope it's been helpful. Take care. Sawadee Kap.